Hi there and welcome, and in this video I'm going to go through just to sort of show you around my basic sample library setup. I've got a lot more sample libraries of this. Oh, I've got more sample libraries, what a surprise. But these are the ones that I go back to time and time again, the ones that I think have really given me like amazing value for money. The ones that are my sort of go-tos right from the get-go. So 6 years ago or so, when I started writing for music libraries and production music, some of these libraries are where I actually started. All of these libraries have earned me money through royalties. All of these libraries I've used numerous times on music that's been accepted by music publishers and music libraries, and also placed on TV and film. Had TV and film placements, I'm trying to say. Brain freeze, that's okay. So yeah, so is this, it's not exhaustive. I mean, you might need more or less than this, but this is what I use on a absolutely literally on a day-to-day basis, and stuff that I absolutely love. So I'm going to start off with Cinematic Studio strings. Now I love the whole Cinematic Studio series. I do have the, let's just go back here as well. I've got the woodwinds and also the brass. Have they brought out the percussion? Yes, I don't think so. But I find the sounds of these absolutely beautiful. I think the legato is really nice and warm. The staccatos can be really, really short and bitey. Pizzicatos are nice. That's a collegno. That's an ordinary pizzicato. I'm not going to demonstrate them all, but this is because you can see really detailed reviews of these in other places. But for my purposes, I find the GUI really easy to use, and I like that. Personally, also find the mic positions really, really excellent. It's going to take a while to load, but the close mic, you do get a really, really lovely bitey sort of, there we go, really, really twangy, bitey sort of sound. I'm just showing you now on the cellos, but it's the same for the violins and everything. And the mixture of rooms, you know, and that you can get and sounds makes this, to me, a really, really versatile library. I've done really, really sort of bitey neoclassic stuff with this, and also really romantic-y sort of long string lines. The trills are lovely, marcatos are really usable, absolutely fantastic. As I say, the woodwind I find really useful. Brass also, as an ex-professional brass player, I think the brass is really, really good. It's as good as most things for general all-round stuff. The next thing then, so that's basically my go-to orchestra all of the time. I don't always use it. But if I'm going to start to play anything orchestral, I always go to CSS. It's worth saying, just going back here, that I do have. In fact, I think I got this first. Hello. There we go. I do have the CSS Studio, Cinematic Studio Solo strings, so many S's, which is basically the solo version of this. The layout is exactly the same. Same sort of mic, exactly the same. Mics are exactly the same. Sound is fantastic. They mix and blend with this absolutely perfectly. I love them. Again, incredibly versatile, can be sort of fairly sweet and romantic, and can also be quite bitey and aggressive with the close mics, I find, and turning this up here. Okay, go to piano, noir. This is a, what's it called? Native Instruments, isn't it? I really like this piano. I really like the Emotional Pure. It has some nice effects. It has a beautiful sub bass mic, which you can control here. You can switch it on or off, and you can also change the volume of it, which I love. I think it's really, really nice. You can control pedals, mechanical, etc. There's a number of different things on here. The grand piano, I use that sound, the Emotional, quite a lot. The Vibrant is really nice at the top end. Also, the you can change to the felt version of it as well, which I haven't got on here, which is really, really lovely. I don't use these a lot, but the sound design, oh, the particles thing. Yeah, I really like this when I got it. I'm not sure I do now. I haven't used it for a long time. How do you get it to work? Does it play? No. It's this, isn't it? Here we go. It does like a little... Let's try that one, it's a bit easier to hear. It does like a sort of atmosphere. Actually, I do quite like that. So it's got this particles engine, which is this, it makes a sort of wash of sound using the basic sound that you're using. My sense of that was that it's a little bit overused or a little bit too, I don't know, not quite, a bit too predictable and a bit too synthesizing. I'm not sure, but actually that's a really nice sound. I don't know. It's horses for courses, isn't it? But the actual basic piano, I love it. It's fantastic. Albion 1 was one of the first sample libraries I ever bought. It's quite dated now, I think, in many ways. However, as an ensemble shorts, I love the string sound. It's got a particular sound to it. It is, where is it? Not Abbey Road. It's one of the other studios that Spitfire used that I can't remember. The big church one, what's it called? But it's got that very sort of lush sound to it. I rarely use it like that. I often use it with the close mic and that turned down. And I think it has a really nice ensemble sound to it. So if I'm not writing anything with individual parts, and I'm writing like a, you know, an ensemble strings, I love that. I think it's really, really nice. There's lots of other stuff in here. Let's just have a look at the rest of the Albion stuff, which I think you sort of forget about, because I use that quite a lot, that string sound. There's a really nice pizzicato string sound as well. The woodwinds mixed arranged thing here is good. The woodwinds short is actually rather nice. I'm not going to show too many because it takes a while to load up, but I actually really like this and use it quite a lot. Again, you can get rid of the really, really washy baked in sound. It's better. But also, there's a lot of other stuff in here that you sort of forget about. There's some run patches and stuff. There's a whole thing of loops. There's some really quite weird stuff in here. This pitch filling removers I use a lot. Some really, really nice sort of loopy type stuff that works really well. There's some more there. This is the updated version, so it's got these things. Yeah, there's loads of them. I'm going through, which is not very helpful. But they're Brunel loops, very, very usable and easily forget about. I don't use the Darwin percussion very much. I don't really like that, I don't think. The steam band thing is really good. There's some great stuff in here. This hybrid orchestra, and some really weird chugging, windy sort of sounds, and some really sort of hybrid, mixed up orchestral and electronic sounds in there, which sound really, really great. I think even today it's a good buy. There's some good basic stuff in there. Go to for big drums, there's got to be Damage. I mean, it just sounds incredible. It's incredibly versatile. It's absolutely all over the place. Listening to things on TV, you can hear Damage all over, which, yeah, good or not, I don't know. And that's Damage 2. Damage 1 I don't have, and that's the old original one. Fabulous, both of them, but really, really, everybody has them. But there's a reason why. Keep Forest also. I've got a number of Keep Forest libraries. This is Devastator Warzone. For sort of electronic-y, trailery type stuff, this is great. Just see what it's got in it. I often don't use it as is. I often sort of filter this and do stuff on it and change the sounds. The drums on this are amazing. See if that'll load up reasonably quickly. On the wrong. It's going to be on the wrong thing, isn't it? You go away for a minute. Let's try again. These are really good. Rewind, rewind. There we go. No sound. Whoa. Straight out the box, boom. And the booms are great. You know, there's some really nice reverbs on here. I use it all the time. It's really, really amazing. Project Bravo, again, it was in one of the very early things that I bought. Oh, hugely versatile. Oh my goodness, there's so much stuff in this. I couldn't even begin to sort of know what's this. This is just one of the synth sounds, but there's all sorts of rhythms, construction kits, there's downers, there's drones, there's other drums which I've never ever used, I don't think, but they sound great, I know. All these signature things, horror sounds, there's individual wave files. It's massive, there's loads of it. There's Project Alpha and Project Bravo. There is a project after that, Project Chaos, which I don't have. Again, these are quite old. Some of the sounds are possibly a bit dated, I think, but again, with some change and some sort of putting your own spin on it. So much variety of stuff, such great value for money. Go-to synth for me is always Diva. I do love this sort of retro-y sort of sound that Diva has. I rarely use any of the stock presets. I've got a whole load of stuff here by Matt Bowdler of The Unfinished. And his presets are just fabulous, absolutely fabulous, every single one of them. There's so much in there. It all has this very sort of analogy sort of sound to it, which I quite like. But with a good set of presets, I think Diva is absolutely fantastic. It's incredibly versatile. There's so much stuff. I've recently got into Serum, again with presets by Matt Bowdler. I have no interest in creating my own presets whatsoever. That is the way to go, in my opinion. East West, I do use Composer Cloud. I have done from the beginning. I find myself time after time reaching into Goliath, which is like their, I don't know, coverall. I don't know, there's a bit of everything in Goliath. This finger bass, turned up nice and loud so you don't have to hit it hard, is lovely. There's electronic drum kits in here. I don't use the orchestral things on it or the piano there. They are really good. Interesting, the brass things aren't bad. There's some sort of jazz trumpet and jazz sort of saxophone stuffs in here. There's tons and tons and tons and tons of different sounds in this, and I do use it an awful lot. The last thing I also use from East West, unusually a lot, is the really, really old Symphonic Orchestra Gold, which is absolutely ancient. It must be 20 years old. Again, it's not massively versatile, but some of the sounds in here are fantastic. If I just go to let's go to the 10 cellos short, for example. If you want a really aggressive cello short, you can hear the rosin on the bow. It's recorded with baked-in reverb. It sounds very sort of concert hall-y, but it's, I should imagine the pizzicato is really good as well. If it's going to load. Come on, there we go. Really good. To me, it's what an orchestra should sound like, but the longs are, I don't know, I've never used the longs. There's no real legato, there's no mod wheel control. The shorts though in this library are fantastic. Other things from here that are great. Oh, the woodwinds are actually really, really good, surprisingly. Let's just go back to find the woodwinds from here. The percussion is good too. I use the percussions a lot from here. The marimba is really lovely. Xylophone's fantastic, the guiro is great, sticks are great, there's so much stuff in here. The metals are really, really good, the anvils are good, the chimes are great, use that a lot. The waterphone and the vibraphone, fabulous. strings I don't use so much apart from the shorts, as I've said. The woodwinds, the bass, where is it? The bass clarinet on this is lovely. Again, for shorts, such a natural sound. So for shorts, I use that all the time. You can change the, it's very reverby. You can obviously switch down the reverb. And actually, if you cut the release on a lot of the samples on this, it does sort of get rid of a lot of that big orchestral bloom, and you can sort of blend it a little bit better. So there we go. This what, half a dozen or so there. Things that I literally use every single day of the week, practically. My go-to, if you were starting out, I would, what would I buy? If I was starting again, I would buy either East West Composer Cloud, or Museo does a similar thing, and you can download loads of stuff from there. I think that's all I had for a start. I had East West Composer Cloud, Albion 1, and Project Alpha and Project Bravo. They were the first things I got, and they got me a very, very long way. I prefer CSS. It's more versatile, I think, than East-West. Generally, I prefer the sound of it. I prefer the interface, even though I don't mind the old Play engine too much once you get used to it. I just love the sound of Noir. It's, again, versatility. It has a lovely felt piano sound. Damage you can't go wrong with. They're just beautifully produced. I don't think you need to keep Forest unless you are doing loads and loads of trailer stuff. And synth-wise, it's just what you prefer. I just like the sort of older, sort of analog sort of sound. So Diva suits me very, very well. But there's, you know, there's so many other choices out there. Okay, hope that was useful. See you again in another video. Thanks. Bye bye.